This video is brought to you by me, because I made it. Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Rose J, and this is Doki Literature Club. We're gonna hop right into it, because I'm really excited. I already put my name down. It's J. That's gonna be our character's name. We're nothing original. We don't do anything original here. I'm joking. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, that kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but kind of just works out because you've known each other for so long? We used to walk together. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently. I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better running off away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Ah! I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe only 'cause I decided to stop and wait for you. Oh, wait. God. Okay, this is gonna be terrible with these voices. Sorry for the bad voice acting, but... you say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Jay. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, but you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our own way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. I'll turn the volume up a little bit. I like the music a lot. Sometimes it can be a little loud, but let's do it. By the way, Jay, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you I'm already not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I was dismissively going along with whatever she was going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I am perfectly content with my average while spending my free time on games and anime. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Oh my god. Okay. I was thinking about how I was talking about how I'm worried that you wouldn't learn to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is important to me, you know? And I know you're happy about it, but I'll die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years just because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look into a few clubs if this makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why did I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her so much makes me worried. I guess seeing her worry about so much makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs? I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around to realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd be catching you coming out of the class, but I saw you sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to be waiting for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, you'd come to my club? Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm gonna join your club. Meanie. Sayori is the vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. I'm like 99% sure she only did it because she thought it'd be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. She said my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm gonna join the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyways? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I'd bring a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell Sayori if Sayori is really just that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to plan all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. I really like this. Ooh. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Literally, or sorry. I dejectedly followed Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I had rarely visited. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, a new member is here. I told you don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. How am I gonna do this voice? Hello. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Oh, Natsuki, I think that's her name. What is her voice gonna be? Seriously? No. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Jay. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the literature club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Ooh. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? Huh. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her. She gets moody. Sayori says that quietly in my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyways, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And and it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Jay. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me is so genuinely feels a little. You too, Monica. Come, sit down, Jay. We made a room with you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I might have I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, has it's been widened so that there was one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take my seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Sorry. Natsuki lifts up the foil off the tray and reveals a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like cute little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and a little more pasting around the chocolate. Were used to make ears. So cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry up and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica, I follow. It's so delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing off of on her face. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances at my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. Oh, it's really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a set of tea. Or a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole teapot set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure to make you feel right at home, okay? As the president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I am surprised. How come did you how come you decided to start your own club? You probably you could probably be a board member or any of the other major clubs. Weren't you a leader in the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand any of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing around the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events, and I'd much rather just take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't any more people in the club yet. It'd be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting all of the effort into starting something brand new, especially when something doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like festivals much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club after we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interesting at in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm of literature. So, Jay, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how much I read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not that much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, see, Yuri traces the rim of her teacup around with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. A creative level of craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And tell a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I'd walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up. She finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? I can't speak. Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read horror. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something so I can relate to the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if that story makes me think, or takes me to another world, I really can put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look around the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, it's just Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called "Don't Say It Out Loud." And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your palms. Everything you do is so cute, just as you are. Sayori slides up behind, or sidles up behind Natsuki and grabs her and puts her hands on her shoulders. I cannot speak. Okay. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki's eyes averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers and exposing vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable about enough to share hers. I guess I could do the same for Yuri. It's the same for Yuri. Well, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea. Natsuki and Yuri looks quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And next time we'll meet, we'll share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll be a little more comfortable with each other and strengthening the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Jay? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're getting back to the original topic of me joining club, I bluntly come forth and with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I wanted to join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs I want to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare at me with the dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Jay... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? If if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I will join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then it makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we'll officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember today's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Oh my god. Monika looks over at me once more. Jay, I look forward to see how you express yourself. Yeah. I can really impress the class star Monika with my own moniker writing skills. Mediocre. Hey Jay, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart from the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Atsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer with one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstance. I am sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Do we get to write it? It's time to write a poem. Pick the words you think your favorite club member will like. Something might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. So who do we want to impress? Natsuki is like the basic tsundere character. Yuri is quiet and that's a little scary. It means she's hiding something. Sayori is our friend. I'm gonna go for Natsuki. So I'm gonna guess these words. So like the different kind of words. I'm gonna guess like the bigger words are gonna be for her because she's the smart one. I don't know what hers would be, but I know hers would be all the cute words. So if I say bubbles, yeah, it's gonna be her. So we're gonna go for Natsuki for this one. Fluffy. Summer. Bunny. Oh, that. So I'm gonna guess she's more romantic. Okay. Kawaii. Anime. Cute. Silly. Charm. Starscape. Okay, I guess we're just doing all of them. Puppy. Valentine? Pink. Yeah, okay. Marshmallow. Hop? Yeah, okay. Flower? Okay. I guess we're going for Natsuki and Sayori. Okay. Now we're gonna do suicide. Massacre. Wait, I wasn't paying attention to the words. Do the words mean something? Hair. Do the words mean something? I wonder. Oh, okay. Hi again, Jay. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I can at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. It was the best. It was the last to come. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Jay. I hope that it isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not really accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any of the clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan on just coming here and hanging out or what, but don't take us serious. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of this. Natsuki, you are certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defended, Natsuki plops back in her seat. Don't worry, guys. Jay always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking me. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Jay can become good friends too. Sayori. Huh? As usual, Sayori says something oblivious to the weird situation she put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's nothing. What is this? What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it such a big deal when it's not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so it's a nice gesture that from you. It is a pleasant surprise. It makes me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you want to. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. Enthusiastically, I take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward into hearing what you think. Now that everyone is settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperating sigh within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of even keeping a collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides in a bunch of stacked books and boxes in the shelves. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it unless you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyways? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's written all over your face. What is that supposed to mean? Alright. I see. There is a lone volume of manga amidst the stack of various books on one side of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand, then turns the box of manga and slips the volume right in the middle of the rest. Much better. Seeing a box set with one book is still probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that I know that feels. I get closer to the book. Um, I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or just simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on that door. She points out to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Jay. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. Ah, I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly Mo. Don't just stand there. What? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. Then she takes a seat against the wall beneath her windowsill. She pats on the ground next to her and signaling to me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. I can't read at the same time like that. Huh? Why's that? I guess it's just easier to be close like this? Don't don't say that. You make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Oh, sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not to say that it is a particularly bad thing. I open the book, and only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes that I don't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, it's been so long since I've read the beginning. You don't go back and flip through the older volumes now? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends from high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare to be writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? Well, obviously. You think that I enjoy something if it didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of beginnings is simple things. It's like the funny chapter where you're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop, but that just helps you get to know these characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into the backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That really makes it good. There's so many touching parts. Is that so? And it sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. Was that supposed to be mean? What? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just mean I haven't seen you yet at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems about baking. This is just a guess, but are you into is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah, why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. It just happens to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like, I would never gotten anything because of the manga. I feel bad for anyone that's that impressionable. Aha. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains your Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, all of the hobbies um, to pick up from manga, that's definitely one better ones. Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? Oh, you're very close. You're very, very close. Um, we read on for a few minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not, even though you were watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something that you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Hmm? You don't? Um, that's not. Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Ah, sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up with them without there being like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Ugh, I know how those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, but much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. It's probably harder for someone like you. Hmm? Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my room. I don't know what my dad would do if he found this. It'd be at least safe here in the club room. Except Monica was always a jerk about it. Ugh, I can't really win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So... Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger in one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel bad for her since she's so unlucky. And it gets especially bad when I shouldn't really be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement, and the stark contrast to her usually bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom is a rare experience. The thoughts she made, the thought she makes me smile makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you ready with today? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though, you look pretty cozy over there. Eh? Ah, Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I can stop here for now. I close the book and hand it over to Natsuki. You're just giving it back. Don't you want to know what happens? Ah, yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It'd take forever to finish it if you don't take it home. Just finish that one tomorrow and we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I will kill you by tomorrow. I only got that part way through that volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I tried it if I try to get through this. But I suppose it's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up, I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slipped the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write the poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now everyone's ready. Why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on the wrinkled sheet of loose leaf paper from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's go with our best pal, Sayori. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's a good friend after all. This is a good poem, Jay. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time. I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I'm afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really a good part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I won't break my promises. Or that I'll break my promises. See? Just like I said before, Jay, deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things is like this for other people. It's something that really is only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, alright? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Oh, so we get to read them. Okay. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away the rainy day? Look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. Hump. I get all cranky. Hump. There's no point in arguing. Anyways, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's do Monica, since we were just talking about her. Hi Jay. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyways, I want to share your poem with me. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Jay. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's the sort of barrier that we learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Jay. Really? It's a lot cuter than expected. Oh geez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. Well, good, because that's where I was going with it. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. Aha. If you say so. Yep. And there's lots of poems or stories out there that are more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. And they might even feel like they were written for kids. But if you think... if you think about them... Sorry about that. Well, they can express views on the world and would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Nutsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easier to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things. A lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love seeing you try new things. That's the best way to find your style, the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I always try to find out what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write one way everyone wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyways, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. It sounds like you're pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It could have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor. An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't. I reel blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already sorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. That's pretty good. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Uh, yeah, that kind of style has really gotten popular nowadays. It's a lot of poems have been putting more emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful. What's the inspiration behind this one? Ah, well, I'm not sure how to put it. I guess you can say a kind of epiphany recently. It has been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's coming on so strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyways, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself um, to get something down on paper and tidy up there. Another way to think about this: if you keep your pen at the same point for too long, you'll just make a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki reads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Ah, what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. Huh. In fact, I remember how I said I wanted to read your poem. That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to make you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, it would have been more comfortable sharing my poem with yours if yours wasn't so bad. If you weren't supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go like, wow, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you would have went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki retort gets caught in her throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that I don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. You say that. I say it mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out. In case you still need me to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Oh. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls will seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I had told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't ever take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, saying everyone you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But other nice things about being simple writing is to put more weight on the wordplay. So I like to rhyme at the end, but then make it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what I mean. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. I didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old anyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Oh, the only person that can. Yuri. Hmm. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes more, um, enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. Um, it's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading it through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No, did I raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help to notice that it's been several minutes and we still haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just the specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And have been through that myself. Um, Having been through that myself, I kind of learned what picked up on them. I think the most noticeable thing that I recognize as new writers um, is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The ending result is that both the style and the impressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thoughts, she can. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it is as her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even in a simple poem. Not, not just finding them and building them, but getting them together or getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but when it comes to practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Um, Never mind. I shouldn't be really talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts, or my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if this was a rare opportunity for her, which kind of in itself is funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate behind the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I like that poem actually. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't really read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is really pretty. Huh? That's a relief. I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. Well, I'm really glad you liked it. I'd be honest. Since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Jay. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I supposed you did if you glanced over it after all. But remember, the poets usually express their own thoughts and feelings through experiences in their work. They usually do more often than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps, the subject of the poem is really only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. It makes me happy that you think of that. Just remember, it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated, as if everyone was judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. Oh, this is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange a sheet of paper, sharing their retrospective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows freeze in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Desk in one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about my feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you were trying to have hard time come up with something to write? Never mind. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Jay too. So based on that, I'd gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I didn't expect to change it anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something in a particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Jay liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Jay appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And not how has he appreciated my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. I was full... If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go and making everything over I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? At least I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a bigger size as soon as Jay started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like the fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they were to notice that I was standing there. Jay, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. And if she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making all your poems all convoluted for no reason? I mean, the meaning should jump out to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Jay. Wait, there's a reason we have to have so many deep expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and mean mostly effective. Avoiding them is not unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's such a waste. You understand that, right, Jay? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they're probably usually think more highly of me, so of course that's gonna be... Help me, Sayori! Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I have in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori. Yeah, everyone's fighting to make Sayori uncomfortable. How can you two keep fighting if you know you're making your friend feel like this? Jay. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri that she's such a stuck-up jerk for being... She would never. It's your immaturity that makes her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop it! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone is so talented, so why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong about that. And Yuri's boobs have been the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayori is the vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I'd hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles and sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little bit more. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing your poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It's alright, well, mostly. Jay, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was neat. It was a neat thing talking about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too? So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more of the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means the least I can do is a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Jay, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often? No, it's really the first time that I've seen them fighting like this. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I see why they can make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Jay, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Suri hasn't really caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Okay, we just have to see what happens, what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but it was easy using Sayori as a internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna save there. Um, um, what? What is side story? Um, hmm, that's weird. Wait, mail pictures. Oh, we're probably gonna be getting some disturbing pictures. Whoa. Oh my god. Okay, guys, this is actually a perfect place to stop, I guess. Metaverse Enterprise Solutions. Huh. Okay, so, huh. I wonder what this means. What could this mean? Like, okay. So, what we're gonna do in the next video is we're gonna look through the side stories. I think we're gonna start the side story. Um, so we'll get into that. I'm actually really excited about that. We'll finish that. Then we'll go back into the game. Cause I don't. Huh. So why do we have files? That's what I'm. I know there's some sort of lore to this, but this is like the newer version of the game, right? I think so. Because this is the plus. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Okay, so what we're gonna do in the next video is we're gonna go through the side stories. Then if we're gonna go back into the game after the side stories. It doesn't look like I can do this one yet, so I think I need to finish more of the places, more of the game. We'll go into the side stories and then we'll do that. Um, yeah, this seems like it's really disturbing, and I don't know. I love it and hate it at the same time, but and I think that's my same time. Yep, that's the exact same time. Anyways, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. I'm sorry about my voice. It's been really hard to read with my throat like dying basically, but I will try my best um to take care of my voice, and we'll have more of these videos. And next videos, be ready for a couple of fun projects I'm doing. Um because that will be absolutely fun. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching again, and bye bye.